Welcome back, comic book collectors and enthusiasts. My name is Brandon, and you are watching the Moncomics Big Five Live. This is a monthly series where I gather 4 other content creators and myself and get them on to show either their 5 most recent pickups or their 5 most special books to them in their collection, all in the idea of stoking that comic conversation. And it is also a way to gather community because, as I found being a YouTuber, I've started meeting these amazing collectors from all different facets. So I thought it'd be fun once a month to bring 4 different collectors on and just talk to them about comics. I've got some awesome ones lined up tonight. Really cool guys. Everyone in this community is just amazing from the moment you meet them, and that is no exception with these guys. So I'm going to bring everyone onto the stage at once.
Hey. Wow.
So I'm going to start around the horn. We have Collecting with Derrz. We have Adam. Adam I met through the Legion of Comics, and I became a channel member there, and just a bunch of great guys. And Adam one time was having like a backstage, like a hang session on a Sunday, and I jumped on with you, and you were kind of like, oh, hey, dude. And Adam is like the most positive person in this community, I think. Bar none. He is nominated for a CBCA. So check out his channel and see what he's about because he's freaking awesome. And he gives positivity words on Monday that just get me going, especially with how I've been lately. So that's Adam. And then we got Maarten, the Aussie Comic Book Collector, coming from the future. Tomorrow it is 10 a.m. in Australia. Maarten is kind of like what I call my pledge class of content creators, in that we started basically around the same time. And I found him, and he does his stream from a storage unit where all of his boxes are around him. He has just thousands and thousands of amazing comics. And I have an affinity for Aussies. I worked with 2 while I lived in Alaska for 2 years, and they were just amazing, amazing people. And they taught me all their Aussieisms, and it was a great time. So I connected with Maarten. So welcome, Maarten. The next creator I have is Allan, the Comic Collector Geek. Allan was the first person to reach out and say, hey, Mon, can I interview you on my channel? And I said, I'd love to. Allan does Friday challenge videos. He does the best unboxings out there. He is nominated for CBCA, so please go vote for him. He also does does interviews with people, and he really just connects the community well. And he probably has one of the best collections you'll see out there, ranging from gold, silver, modern, bronze, you name it. So, Allan, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on my show. It means a lot.
Thanks.
The next gentleman I ran into at the Collector Club. Hialeah and Allan are part of the Collector Club, which is helmed by the immortal Biggie Shack. These guys invited me on for a game one night. We're showing off books. It's, to me, the coolest game on the YouTubes. If you ever chance to check out, have a chance later on, actually after my stream tonight at 9 p.m., the Collector Club is going live. And they do competitions where they do comic poker. So they'll say all skull covers, and you got to pick the 5 best skull covers in your collection. And it makes you look at your books, and it's really awesome. And then they have the chat vote on who they think the winner is. So that's how I met Hialeah. He's been a gem and really nice to me ever since. So, guys, welcome to the show. Thank you for showing up on a Friday night. That means a lot to me.
Of course.
Thanks.
Of course.
No worries.
Happy to be here, bro.
So before we show the books, Adam, what got you into comics?
What got me into comics? So the very, and as much, I wouldn't say hate on this team as I say, but I'm not really the biggest fan of them. But it is one of my very, very first things ever seeing, and that was the X-Men cartoon. And that was kind of my first, because like I said, I'm 33. I'm a baby in the community. I'm a 90s kid born in 1990. So the X-Men cartoon as a young kid was one of the very, very first things that introduced me that comics existed and this world existed. And that's what took me to a comic shop. And as a kid, you know, I played sports and stuff like that, but I was always like the outcast, always hanging out with like the nerds and the misfits and stuff like that. So when I went to my first comic shop, the very first comic I saw is everybody was buying like Superman and Spider-Man. And then I saw an image from Tidal named Spawn, and I instantly gravitated towards that. And ever since then, I'm still pulling Spawn to this day. I'm a massive Spawn head. So that X-Men cartoon, I don't read any X-Men, but the cartoon, and then Spawn is what really got me into comics.
Ditto, same. I'm in the 80s to 90s kid, but both of those, you know, that X-Men theme song came on Saturday morning. It was go time. It was really great for comics. Maarten, what got you into comics in Australia?
Yeah, so we kind of live out of the main part of Melbourne, like in the country. And on school holidays in the 80s, we'd go for long drives, like hours and hours. and my mum would get me a whole lot of comics to read in the back.
Smart mom.
And then in the 90s, the 90s explosion happened, and I still loved the comic books, and I wanted to know how to draw them. So I just got like a big stack, and then on the school holidays I would copy them, and then I just fell in love with the medium, and I've never stopped loving them. And now I just collect everything.
I could tell. I've seen your video. You were like me. You're all over the place because you love it all. Alan, what got you into comics, man? Because you just collect some awesome stuff.
I always got comics as a kid. Like my parents would always give us comics, but I was a big coin collector. And what happened was I went into my local coin shop where I was buying coins, and up on the wall they had a comic. I was like, why would they have a comic? They're like, you know, I was sort of associated comics with trash. It's like something you'd read and then throw away, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So to see it in that collector format, I've always had the genetics for collecting. So when I saw this comic, I was like, and it was a really cool comic. It was Howard the Duck #1. And when I saw it there, I was like, wow, that's so cool. And I just wanted to get that one book, saved up money to buy that book, and then that was what started me collecting comics. After that I just was really into collecting comics.
It opened the floodgates from there on out. Huh?
Yeah. It's really crazy.
Amazing. Hialeah.
Wait, how old were you when you went into this coin shop and saw that comic?
Maybe like 8 or 9 years old. I was pretty young. I collected coins since I was 7.
Nice.
Hey, get in early on it. Hialeah, what got you into comics, man?
Dude, it was watching the Spider-Man, the old 66. Is it 66? The old Spider-Man from the 60s. You know, watching Batman 66 with Adam West and all that, and my dad taking me to 7-Eleven and getting I would see the comics on the rack and just getting the comics off of that, dude. And it's just been a lifelong love affair ever since, you know, except for like, you know, that gap when you meet girls, have kids, and then, you know, so that 20-year gap, there's like a 20-year gap right in the middle. But yeah, man.
Everyone has that gap, right? Like
Everyone
at some point in your
gap.
life, you start, you're hooked, and you stop, and then your love, you know, gets reunited somehow, and you're like, oh, and then you become like us, just hoarders of the stuff, and you know. But it's great, and I always tell my wife this is my midlife crisis. So I'm not going to the bar. I'm not getting a motorcycle. I'm not going to kill myself. You're just going to hear me talking with like 4 other nerds about like our comics. She's like, I'm sold. I'm on that. So that's awesome. So I want to start just going around the horn. First of all, let me say hi to the chat. Casino Comics, SFawn82, Scotty, what's up? Brother John Comics, what's on the comic rack? Mr. Akins, who is nominated for Best New Channel. Unruly Simeon, what's up, dude? Immortal Biggie Shack, Sensei, what's going on? I think I got everyone. Colossus Collector, Ryan's here. Comics and Coffee, Couch and Slouch and Bizzle. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Steve, appreciate you guys. Steve has Collecto 6. You guys ever seen his collection, Steve?
Yeah, his collection is better than mine.
So I'm going to do a show, I think, in November or December where I'm going to have collectors on instead of content creators and reach out to some fans. And he's definitely one of them because he started showing stuff on his Instagram, and I was like, "Is that you own that?" And he's like, "Yes." I'm like, "Wow."
Yeah, his collection's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm going to start with Adam. I'm going to make Adam big. And what are you showing tonight, Adam? You showing your 5 most recent pickups or 5 books that mean a lot to you?
I'm going to go with 5 books that mean a lot to me because like you mentioned before, me personally, I collected, I'm 33. I collected until I was like 11 or 12 and then stopped reading and following comics basically all the way up until I was like 26 or 27. Followed comics on YouTube, some of the channels and stuff like that. And recently just got back into collecting comics like a year, like 6 months to a year before COVID. So that's where I'm at. And for me, I'm a real modern collector. Anything like before the 80s, I love, and it's iconic, but it's not really my taste. So you're going to see a theme with these. A lot of these are from Heroes Con. This is what happens when you go to a con. So one of the big things I wanted to do with this con was meet Daniel Warren Johnson. And the first day I went there, he had like a 3-hour line because people were getting like 30 or 40 of the same books because he does free signings for now. They're getting like 30 or 40 of the same books signed. So I missed out on him this first day. Went there the second day, same thing, missed out on them. And then the third day, I was like, okay, I'm going to go like 2 hours early. I was one of the first people in line, talked to the dude, and I don't have I have the comics, but this one's special because it's the trade of Do a Powerbomb. And I stood there for like 15 minutes and basically told Daniel Warren Johnson how much he meant to me, how much he changed my perspective of comics with Do a Powerbomb and like Murder Falcon. And I'm so hyped for Transformers. And then I was one of the only ones besides people paying for them that actually got the Cobra Sun like head sketch with the signature on here.
Dude, that is awesome.
So I love that.
That's very cool.
So yeah, I'm super. Daniel Warren Johnson's like one of the GOATs right now for me. So that was a great experience. And then another book that I took to Heroes Con. This is actually one of like 3 or 4 books that I've had since my childhood, since I was like a kid and stuff like that. And this is actually the Secret Wars number 1, the newsstand, the Error version. I know everybody has that one, but this is actually triple signed by Beatty, and then you have Jim Shooter, and then you have Tom DeFalco.
That is awesome. Always love that cover.
Yes, sir. So this will definitely be getting graded and everything like that, and always in the PC.
Will you send it to CBCS for verification?
Yeah, I have pictures with all of them. So I mean, I don't know if that changes everything, but I have pictures with everybody. I just at the time CGC was so like all the authentication things at Heroes Con were so backed up. I didn't want to wait in any extra line, so I just ran with it.
I feel you.
So this next one is super special to me, and it means a lot to me. Being one of the new guys in the community, there's a lot of people that I look up to and really take inspiration from. And one group in particular is everybody that's part of DJ Lynx and Legion, all them guys. And it's going to be terrible to see on cam because of the Mylar and how dark it is. But this was Austin LeMay's exclusive cover, the Salve, and I got 99 out of 100. And then it's got the whole Illuminati symbol on the back. But I'm going to take this to Heroes Con next year and have the whole Illuminati sign it, have Austin sign it, have all that witness, get that slabbed, and then I'll have all the signatures.
That is cool. Yeah, Legion of Comics put out some sweet. The newest one that just dropped for Comics Curing Cancer. Is amazing. I got to get that soon.
DJ Lynx tonight at 9 is dropping all the details for how you can get that.
Beautiful.
So this next one, it wouldn't be like I talked about Spawn. It wouldn't be a top 5 or anything without Spawn. One of my Grail books, and hopefully I can get that. That's one of my books for next year at Heroes Con, is the first appearance of Gunslinger, his first and cameo. But it's a Spawn, and I like to save a little bit of money. I'm a budget collector. So instead of getting the 9.8, I got the 9.4 at $50. So I couldn't beat that.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
I love this because it's got the whole image checklist on the back of all those and everything. So like I said, without this dude, I would not be collecting comics. Without Todd McFarlane, without all that, I wouldn't be here. So
That's awesome, dude.
Right. So I was hunting. There's a couple books I was hunting at Heroes Con and looking just to see the prices. Because like I said, at Heroes Con, I was really going for just meeting all the people in the community for the first time, getting signatures and getting prints and stuff like that. I only bought 4 books. And this was one of the books I was hunting. The price didn't fit for me. So my buddy Ben Parker reached out to me and he's like, hey, I got 2 of these. What's your address? I'm like, okay. And I didn't know what book he was talking about until it showed up. And it's on my channel. I got it live. But this is actually The Amazing Spider-Man 361 First Appearance of Carnage in an 8.0. Double signed by signed by Dave Michelini and signed by Mark Bagley and also remarked by Mark Bagley.
Oh, that is absolutely gorgeous.
Got that Spider-Man remark on there.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. So
Nice.
love that. And one of my themes when I come on a top 5 or top 10 or whatever is I like to cheat just a little bit. So I have 2 honorable mentions.
Love it.
And that's kind of my thing. I want to take this one out to do it justice. But this was my first ever commission that I got.
Nice. Very nice.
Really well done.
Yeah.
Who's the
Yeah,
artist?
Dan, I always butcher his last name. Dan, it's D.L. Leidinger. I just had a conversation with him. He's going to be reaching out to Comics Curing Cancer, so
Nice.
hopefully they can line something up. But yeah, did that from him, and then next year I'm going to have the full Venom, and then I'll have the Spawn corner box. And then last but not least, brought a Spawn blank, and I had everybody from the community. You got Roscoe, Rob Fatstacks, Comic Bay. Everybody, CJ's right there. You got Legion of Comics. Got everybody to sign that.
Dude, that is so awesome. Like I knew you were community focused, before seeing that book, Adam. But
shout out! I do have to give credit to where credit's due, and Nick's Kicks and Comics was the originator of that. But I had the idea to bring it. I didn't know he was the originator of that, but he was. So, but like I said, that's something I want to do every year. And the more people we get, the more people I can have sign my blank. So,
dude,
books, and I appreciate you having me, man.
Those were awesome books. I mean, growing up in the 80s and 90s, like Spawn 2, like that movie came out, and that's what we had back in the day, I mean, when 89 Batman came out, that was huge. And then Spawn came out. And Blade, and then like I started buying the Spawn comics too, so I've got the #1 up there too. I've got a bunch of them. I loved Spawn's background, his character, and McFarlane did change the game.
That's one of my lifelong goals, is just to have every issue of Spawn raw, and then maybe one day, if the new movie ever comes to fruition, or after I'm gone, then my son will have a nice little retirement fund he's sitting on.
You're like me, dude. Everything behind me is my daughter. That's why I tell everyone it's they're heirs to the Moncomics collection.
Yep. The legacy going.
Yes. So Maarten, my Aussie friend, what do you got, mate?
I had actually 17 to show off, and then when I
thought I cheated.
No, when I realized Alan was involved, I just got the bottom 5. So they're here. The first one is. There we go. Star Spangled War Stories, issue 84. It's the first appearance of Mademoiselle Marie. She's right there. So as I said, I collect everything, and War Comics. They're kind of like a niche for me. I get a kick out of them. But I wanted to get her first appearance, and I got it from my comic shop.
I don't collect war books, but I can appreciate their art. Like that is a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Mylar doesn't really help. It reflects off the.
No, it looks good.
That's probably a better shot there.
No, it looks great. It looks great.
So, the next one is.
Yeah.
There we go. I wanted to show you a nice monster book for you, Brandon, and
first Constantine, right?
First Constantine, yeah. I got this. So Melbourne went through like 5 lockdowns where we couldn't leave the house at all. And I thought, you know what, stuff it. If I'm going to be stuck in the house, I'm going to get this book. So that was my COVID purchase.
I love it. That's a great book.
But then that kind of kicked off buying key books. And the next one, this is the only Marvel I have in the top 5.
Oh, nice.
First bullseye.
First bullseye, yeah. Now, this was a good purchase because someone's put a little biro bit here. That means that the price dropped.
Hey, I didn't even notice it till you pointed it out, to be honest.
Yeah, so there's a better look at it.
I mean, it's a busy cover.
I really don't care about it because...
Hell no.
Where do you see it?
I read the whole book, so... the cover doesn't matter.
Right.
Not so much.
I think it presents well.
Sorry?
Yeah.
I think it presents
well.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Looks, yeah.
So I've got 2 more to show.
Nice.
Jonah Hex.
Ooh,
Issue 10. Yeah, the first appearance of Jonah Hex.
That is awesome.
That's a
Also
great.
from my comic shop. And it's a 1.5. So it's in pretty bad condition. It's a little bit brittle, but I have read it. So in 2004, Jimmy Palmiotti and Justin Gray did the Jonah Hex series. And that's when I fell in love with the character. And I read that entire series all the way through to when it finished many, many years later. And I backtracked and I got all the previous Jonah Hex comics. and then I realized I didn't have this one. So, yeah.
Yeah, you don't see that every day. Unruly Simeon. That's a
Mhm.
good point. You just don't see that every day.
No, you
Yeah.
don't.
So the last book, this is the biggest book I have, and I showed it on Alan's channel some time ago.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Very nice.
It's also from my comic shop, and I was able to get it. I was able to afford it because it's a coverless copy, but the person who sold it to my comic shop actually did a reprint of the cover and included it. So this is just a photocopy.
Oh, nice, man. That's awesome.
But you know, I didn't care. You know, it's Justice League of America #1, and yeah, I read it. It was such a good bloody read. I didn't mind about the coverless copy.
Do they play
But, yeah.
chess in the inside?
Yeah, kind of. They kind of do, in that they're kind of their bodies are taken over, like they're being mind controlled.
Okay.
Mhm.
So they are on a chessboard.
That's
That's
cool.
awesome. I love my comic shop. I love theirs. They got great service.
Oh yeah, I haven't
Yeah,
shopped from them for a while, but just because of cost. But yeah, absolutely fantastic.
You guys would
Easy
recommend?
easy to create a big bill there.
You guys would recommend my comic shop?
Yeah,
Definitely.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
shopped on there yet.
They're
I
the
think
best online.
They
I would say.
undergrade a lot of their books, man. The raw books that they sell, a lot of them are undergraded. Not so much the ones that are what is
And they're like the ones from other people.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the ones that they actually sell, which you could tell if it's yellow, it's oh my god, there's a word for it.
It's not commission. It's what's the
Consignment?
consignment? I was going through C words.
Consignment. You could tell the ones that are consignment, they're the ones highlighted in yellow. The ones that are in gray, those are their books, and a lot of times they undergrade their books.
And also they're cheaper too. They're usually a little bit cheaper than the consignment.
You guys are bad influences. You know that? The guy who has to order stuff online for his channel.
Ooh, if you do that, man, all you gotta do is download Whatnot, and you will be.
Oh no, I know. I've been
avoiding Whatnot just because my credit card can't handle it.
I do the giveaways. That's my thing.
I've ventured away from Whatnot and found great people on Instagram and Facebook.
That too, man.
And supporting any kind of shops. You know, I found out through Whatnot people who own shops, and I go to their site and buy from them.
Mm-hmm.
Alan, dude, what do you got? Alan always brings interesting stuff.
I bringing like I want to show like kind of the kind of personality that I have. So I got to start out with the weird, quirky part of me, which is this is my zombie tramp #1. And
Cool.
I love this book. Actually, this is one of those books like it's probably one of the rarest books in my collection. Believe it or not, it's super hard to find this book. It's the first appearance of Zombie Tramp. This is like believe it or not, this is actually a really pricey book. It's just such a hard book to find. But I was super excited to get this one. And one of the things that got me into collecting in the 90s, like one of the things that I really, like once I got away from my parents and I, didn't have to buy Disney books all the time, I really love the bad girls of the 90s.
Yeah.
And then I've always loved zombies. So, this is kind of the combination of the two. So I really like this series. So I have pretty much any zombie tramp you can imagine. And then this is the grail of that. It was very rare. It's like from 2009. It was sort of self-published and very hard to find. So just
Where did you find that one? Where did you find that?
I actually got this one on eBay. I think there's actually less than 10 on the census for this book.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a ghost. It's usually when you see them, it's a second print. This is the first print, and it's just impossible to find.
I've never seen that cover.
Yeah, it's a cool book.
Wow,
And it's signed by
awesome.
Dan Mendoza as well. Another thing that I like is I like kind of controversial stuff or kind of quirky stuff. And this is another book I really love.
Oh yeah.
So this is Hensi, the girl that loved the swastika. Now, when people first Yeah, when people first see this, they think it's like some pro-Nazi thing, but it's exact opposite. It's very anti-Nazi stuff. So it's just a really cool book. It's a true story, actually, as well.
And
it's
a
just-
9/6 white pages, Alan. That's gorgeous.
Yeah,
That's insane.
it's one of the highest. Like I'm not even sure if there is a 9.8 on the census. I'm not sure.
You always see them beat up to shit, man.
Well, they gave away these books for free almost. Like they were trying to, they were trying to encourage people to, it's like by Christian Spire, right? And it was basically like a way of like, putting out the, religious messages. And they basically were giving these away for free. And they were just beaten up. They were always beaten up as a result. But yeah, it's just a really cool book. I always love this one.
Where did you find that one, if you remember?
I got it on my comic shop, believe it or not.
Wow.
And it was one of those ones where it was, I don't know why they listed it really cheap. I was like, okay, I'll just pick it up. I'll grab it. So it's like I got a great deal on it actually.
That's the fact that it has white pages. I mean,
yeah, and it's like I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Christian Spire stuff, but the page quality or the paper quality was really kind of subpar. It's like really cheaply made. So yeah, usually they're kind of a little bit rough. Okay, so the next one that I brought is another big book from my child, like that I wanted as a child, but I didn't realize what it was. So the first time that I actually went to buy comics, like as a collector, other than the Howard the Duck, my class had gone in high school to Ottawa, strangely. And we did like, we had a little bit of time where we could shop. And I found like a comic shop to go into. So I was like, hey, I want to get the first appearance of Plastic Man because I thought Plastic Man was a really cool character. So they gave me the comic that they said, oh, here's Plastic Man's first appearance was Plastic Man #1, okay, which was not Plastic Man's first appearance. It was like like the third or fourth series for Plastic Man. So it was like a $2 book. But later, once I learned a bit more about comics, I learned that this was the first appearance of Plastic Man.
Oh,
This is from 1941. It's an incredibly hard book to get. So I actually thought I was going to get a different copy. It was one where it was a really low grade. I think it was like a 2.0 or something like that, or a 1.8, somewhere. It was like a really low grade. And I put a really high bid on it because like the fair market value was like 2,000 or something like that. But I put it like a bid of like $5,000. I just was like, I'm going to get this book. It went up to $11,000 or something crazy. I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the heck? There's no way. Why is it going up so much? And then, so what happened was, there was another one that I almost bought. The guy had a 3.0. He wanted like 18,000 for it. And I was like negotiating with him to try to get it like for a reasonable price. But then there was an auction and this one came up and I got this for 5,000, which I know sounds expensive, but
it's a killer deal compared to 18,000.
Yeah, even compared to the 2.0, like it's a 7.0. And the restoration, this is why I love restoration. I'm one of those people that actually likes restoration because it's like I'm going to get a good deal. So it's like what was the restoration? Restoration is color touch, pieces added, reinforced. So it's very little. It's like I think there's like a little tip or something like that, and there's like a little bit of color. It could even be removed, and maybe I'd get a 6.0.
What's the year on the book?
It's 1941.
Dude, that's fine, bro. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah,
you don't have. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it doesn't make sense that a restored 7.0 goes for cheaper than like a 1.0 even. Like like a really low. It doesn't make any sense. So
it's your win.
Yeah, that's and then this has like so many first appearances in it. Pretty much all of these characters are first appearances. So we got Phantom Lady, the Mouthpiece, the Human Bomb, and Plastic Man.
Alan, I've seen you show that book, and I've heard you tell the story, and it never gets old. It's just a wonderful story. I love that cover. I love the how it was part of your childhood wanting the #1. Like I could listen to you tell that story. You could tell that story every day once on YouTube, and I'll just tune in and watch. So thank you for bringing that book tonight. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's one I really love, actually. So I was pretty excited about that. Another one, I'm going to take it. Actually, I'm going to take it out of the plastic. This is another one. I just got this recently. This is a sort of recent pickup. Another book that there's no way I could afford this book if it was not restored. I think there was like a 9 something, like that sold for $400,000 of this book. So I'm like, no, I don't think I can get that one. But this one's like an 8.5, and the restoration is cleaning. It was cleaned.
What?
Cleaned, and the staples were cleaned. That's it.
That's it.
Isn't that insane? And I got this way cheaper.
Well, what do they mean by cleaning? Wouldn't a press be cleaning? Do you mean by like the washing of it?
So you can actually see like there's a little bit right there. Can you see almost like where I think when they cleaned it, they rubbed it a bit, maybe a bit too much.
Okay.
And it kind of scraped it a bit.
That makes sense.
But I don't care. I think it presents beautifully. To me, it doesn't even make sense that would be the restoration. Like, it's like kind of maybe conservation, I would say, but restoration doesn't make sense. But I think it's a great cover. It's like Matt Baker. To me, it's my favorite Matt Baker cover. It's also one that was mentioned in The Seduction of the Innocent, and they actually, when they showed this book in The Seduction of the Innocent, it was actually in a panel. Like they actually devoted a whole page to this book because it is so headlighty. I guess is the way to say it. Just a really great book. I really love this one too. So.
That is a fantastic book, and the fact that it was used in that, the Seduction of the Seduction of the Innocent?
Seduction of the Innocent, yeah.
The fact that that was a piece used in that is just such the history. I'm all about history. When you tie stuff together like that.
So yeah, I mean the history is that this is one of the books that led to the Comic Code Authority. This is one of the books that changed comic history. So that to me adds like something cool to it. And the last book, and this book really changed me as a collector. It made me go from being like, oh, okay, maybe I'll spend $50 on a book, to being like, maybe I'll spend a few thousand on a book. This book kind of changed me as a collector, made me a serious collector. It's my all-star number 8.
Nice.
This one was one that I always wanted as well as a kid. I always wanted I always sort of go where everyone else isn't going with collecting. So what I do is, so everyone would go X-Men. I would go like Vampirella. When, I always saw like the superheroes, the hero that I liked the most, or the superhero that I kind of thought was the coolest was Wonder Woman.
Nice.
And I always wondered what was Wonder Woman's first appearance. And I was talking to my local comic shop in Toronto, and the guy was like, oh yeah, the first Wonder Woman appearance is in All-Star 8. And he said, I have that book, by the way. So I was like, oh, you have it, would you be willing to sell it? And I basically was harassing him for about 6-7 months. I don't know, it was like a long time. I just kept him like every time I'd go in there, I'd ask him about it, and the price kept on getting a little bit cheaper each time I would harass him. So that was kind of nice. And then I just, he thought it was like a 1.5, but it got graded at a 2.5. So that was quite nice. So I got it priced at a 1.5, which is really nice. It's a very cool book. I wish Wonder Woman was on the cover, but
I was going to say, it's one of those examples where the first appearance of one of the most iconic characters isn't on the cover.
But it's still a very cool book.
Yes, it is.
It really did open my eyes to the possibility that, hey, maybe I could get these Grail books. I mean, this is one of the top 10 Golden Age books. It's like one of those $1 million books in high grade, like not in this grade, but in high grades.
Right.
So it really did open my eyes to the possibility of getting the bigger books, and as long as you can find somebody willing to take installment plans for like 10 years, you can get any books.
Facts.
Facts. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my big book. That really changed me as a collector. And then I
Nice.
started getting all these crazy expensive books afterwards.
That was really, really cool, Alan. Yeah, and that's really motivating too. Like everyone has to have a time when they can say, "Hey, I can get these books if I work hard, if I budget a little bit, and
Yeah, sell a couple of your kids.
yeah,
Or kidney or a little
I don't
bit.
have a left kidney. Yeah,
Right.
so
Yeah.
Alan, you never disappoint. Thanks for bringing those 5 books. That was amazing. Hialeah.
Wait. Go back. Before you put me up, Derrz, how do you like to be sitting in my spot, going last after that shit?
Yeah,
No,
dude.
I'm going last. I'm going after you.
Sled right off the
But, but still, you're not going after that. You're not going after
I saw you on. I watched all of Only Slabs, bro. I know you got that.
that. I appreciate it, but
He's got some big books. He's got some big books.
Yeah,
Dude,
Don't let him fool you.
Yes, Mr. Bronze Age champion of the Collector Club. I
Yeah.
saw what you were capable of. I saw the kind of violence that you brought that night.
I'm gonna have a drink.
I love it. I love it.
That's
I
the
love it.
pluck, bro.
Salute. Happy Friday.
Awesome. First, man, thank you for the invite. This is super. This is always fun hanging out, talking comics.
Thank you.
I don't have stories that Alan has. I'm sorry, I'm not a good storyteller. But I'll tell you what I went through just picking my 4 or 5 books. So I was thinking, man, I don't want to. My 5 favorite books, man, that's so hard to choose. I don't know, Then I started thinking, I'm gonna show. I felt bad because I wanted to be part of that homage contest last a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, oh shit, I think I'll just show 5 homage books, and so I got some books, and then I go, nah, I won't do that. So I go, I'm gonna show the last 5 books I've gotten, and I'll tell you why, and I guess maybe that's a better story.
Okay.
So I'm gonna show you the last 5 books I've gotten, probably in the last 4 or 5 months, I guess 6 months, and prices have been coming down, and my collection is pretty much where I want it at. I stopped collecting new books. I got pretty much I like the Bronze Age, the Silver Age keys. I stay in my lane. I afford what I can, so what I saw prices coming down, I go, you know what? I'm going to sell some books that I want to upgrade, and I could get some, I want to upgrade them. So pretty much what I've been doing this year, it's the year of the upgrade. So I've had books that I've had graded, and I wasn't happy with them for whatever reason, either the grade or just the appearance of the book, the condition. It might have had ink on it. I didn't want it with writing and whatever. So I'm going to go through the 5 books, the last 5 books I've got, and I'll tell you where I think I got them all, if I remember. So this book, I actually bought it on Shortbox. And I was out with the wife and my daughter. She was looking for an apartment to move out, and we were down in Fort Lauderdale looking for apartments. And I'm in the back seat looking on Shortbox. Oh shit! I'm gonna make an offer. Boom! And I remember I was in the back seat buying the book. So the book I got was Thor 165. It's the first Warlock, Adam Warlock, I guess. And I had it in a 5.0, and I found it on Shortbox for a really good price. I made a bid, and he accepted it right away, and I got it for an even better price. And I got it I went from a 5 to an 8.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Love that.
That's a
cover.
huge upgrade.
Yeah.
It's a huge upgrade, and like I said, prices have come down on a lot of books. So I decided that's what I'm doing this year. I'm going to upgrade those books that I wasn't happy with. So
That's a great idea, man.
This is the first one. This one I showed it on Only Slabs because it's a cover I freaking love, and this one I upgraded recent. All of them are recent. This one I had it in a 6.5, and I got this on Shortbox as well.
Ooh, yes.
Nice.
Fire cover.
Yeah, I freaking love this cover. So I upgraded 3 grades from a 6.5 to an 8, and this one's actually wrapped a lot nicer than the one I had. And I put it on eBay, and I sold mine right away. So the difference in price wasn't actually that bad. this one, I'm a huge X-Men fan, especially the old John Byrne, Claremont, that whole run. I'm actually reading that over again now. Well, this one I had it in a 7.5, and it's a cover I've always loved. Not a super expensive book by any means, and I got this for like under $100, and I got this one on. I think this one was MySpace. I mean, My Comic Shop, not MySpace. My Comic Shop, and I went from
Throwback.
Yeah. This is
Dude, MySpace has comics now? What are we doing?
That'd be awesome.
so I had a 7.5, and I upgraded to a 9.4, and it's a 39. I've always loved this cover, except for the Toys R Us ad.
Dude, I'm a sucker. I go for books that have the Toys R Us ad.
Oh no, dude! Imagine this without it. Oh my god!
I am a Toys R Us kid, bro.
That's the last bastion of hope we have right there. But no, that's gorgeous. 9.4.
Wow.
I still love this, and I tried to get it in a white page the best I could, and I got it for like $100 on under $100 on My Comic Shop.
That's a nice deal, dude.
Wow, that's really
Really
cute, actually.
I love it's well censored. It's just I really enjoyed that one.
Beautiful.
Okay, I got two more, and these kind of go together, so it's actually pretty cool. So I had this one in a 5.0, and I upgraded to a 7, and it's just a classic, Iron Man Submariner.
Oh,
nice.
yeah. Colossus Collector loves that one. That's just beautiful.
It's just a gorgeous cover. So I upgraded that one, a much nicer copy than the one I had as far as the centering and everything. So I went up a couple of 4 grades with this one. And where did I think this one was My Comic Shop as well.
That's a great book.
And this last one, I just got it Wednesday. I got it on Wednesday, and it's from My Comic Shop as well. And this book, I had been watching it. I had it saved on My Comic Shop, and it had been coming down in price, and it was still priced less than pretty much all the other ones, except for like another book. But the difference was this one, the wrap was a lot nicer. Like on the other one, the Marvel was kind of like chopped off. Anyway, and I remember it was I kept seeing it the same price, and I kept waiting, and all of a sudden I click on one day, and it's like, damn, it just went down like $45 from the price it was at before. And I said, boom, I'm getting it, and it's the Submariner 1 in a set.
Nice.
And this one I had a 4.5. I had a 4.5, so I upgraded to a 7.
Nice.
Wow.
What awesome moves, dude.
It worked out. I sold the other one. I got pretty much what I had into the book, and then I just paid a little bit more for this one. It wasn't that much of a difference from a 4.5 to a 7 because this was at such a great price.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
Stuff's coming.
I always liked those ones with those seals on them. I always thought those were cool.
I like it. At My Comic Shop, they also do like a Black Friday or a year-end sale where they drop a lot of the prices on their books for like 10 days. So you just got to go in and look and see what they got going. But I love My Comic Shop. They ship super fast. One time, I'll tell you 2 more quick stories. One time I ordered from them, it was an early into mystery, right? And it was the first Odin. It's the one where it's like 86 or something. And it came cracked.
Oh, wow.
Right? From My Comic Shop. I called them, I emailed them, they answered me right away. Boom, boom, do this. They sent me a label, sent it off, got my money back right away as soon as they got it. Another time, I bought an FF49, and it didn't come. It got lost. I was going back and forth with them, and they go, hey, it got lost, we'll send you the money. They sent me the money. The book came like 5 days later. I could have just, but I go, no, I'm not going to do it. So I emailed her. They charged me right back. But dude, they're excellent customer service, man.
Yeah.
They're good customer service. So My Comic Shop, I stand by them. I buy a lot.
Well, my shtick is getting, all about where to get comics through the mail. And I try to support, single sellers, small businesses, but I'll absolutely, like, if a company goes out of their way above and beyond to make people happy, that counts, this day and age for sure, where customer service can be so hard to obtain. Those were awesome. I don't know why you were freaking out. I got to go next. I just went after you two. I mean, no, the stories you told were great. I think it is a very wise time to be, first of all, upgrading, getting a hold of certain keys. The market is definitely, it's a buyer's market. So the idea though that you're taking them and just making them into better copies, that sounds really fun to do too.
It is.
And then you see the fruits of your labor too through all that.
Yeah.
Damn you guys, I can't believe I gotta go now. All right. So I picked my 5 most recent pickups too. And some were inspired by members of this panel. The first 2 books I got were an A-OK. The video I did on it is dropping Sunday to give this guy recognition. But Carlos from Los's Comic Journey. I don't know if you guys ever watched him.
Oh,
shout out to Carlos.
Come on, dude. Los is my boy. I love Los.
Yes. So we hit it off as soon as we started creating. You know, he's been creating for a while, and then we just kind of hit it off talking on Instagram and stuff. He won one of my giveaways. Might have been like my 300 follower subscriber giveaway or something. But he won it, and then all of a sudden he has my address. So he sends me an A-OK. And these are both one book I really wanted, and it's weird. I think he talked about it on his channel. And then another one I probably wouldn't go out and buy, but I appreciate it. It's the Immortal X-Men number 11, John Tyler Christopher variant.
Nice.
I always like those negative space ones. Those are awesome.
I'm a big fan of what is it, John Tyler Christopher. Yeah, his Star Wars variant stuff he does like that. And actually, I've been wanting to get like I think there's a Werewolf by Night negative space cover, and these are beautiful. So. Again, I don't really go to a lot of comic shops or get modern comics, but this is just a gorgeous cover that I'm happy to add.
Hey man, Los is great people, bro.
Yeah,
he's awesome.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's we're the dads that commiserate and bond over stuff. And then the other book he sent me, I love history of comic books. I love comic books that speak on social issues, and this one definitely does. I don't know how many are familiar with it. Nightwing 93. Yep. Have you guys all read this? Derrz, you read this?
I've not, no.
What is the social significance?
I've got 2 copies.
The significance is Nightwing gets sexually assaulted in this
interview
by the Tarantula, a female vigilante. He basically loses he sees her shoot his villain, and he loses his mind to the point where he's just having like a nervous breakdown, and he gets taken advantage of. And so it really is a crazy, for a comic to be tackling something like that.
When did that come out? Is that recent?
Anyone know the year on this? I'm not 100%.
On the cover.
July 04. So this is actually 04. 2004.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I love that cover too. And it just really, it struck me, there's what Avengers book is that? I think you guys know, where someone was sexually assaulted. Or it's insinuated.
200.
Yes, 200. That's it. Yep. That really, interests me too. I took a class in college called Comic Books as Literature, and this is the kind of stuff the teacher would assign. And it just showed you that comics were not for kids. It destroyed the preconceived notion of comics. And so anytime, Carlos, I think I commented on his video because he showed it, and I really wanted to pick it up. I've been eyeing it on eBay. And I do this A-OK, and here it is. So, Carlos, I can't thank you enough. Like I said, the video will drop Sunday, giving you appropriate credit. But you really sent me 2 books that are like very treasured now. So, thank you.
Nice.
My third pickup was inspired by Alan, and actually the whole Comic Collector Club's homage covers last week. And Alan reminded me that there was an homage cover out there that I had seen before and I needed to get. And it is Wolverine number 55.
That's right. You're telling me you got this one.
So first appearance of Romulus, Death of Sabretooth. And it is the homage to Suspense Stories number 22. Is that correct, Alan?
Yep. 22. Yep.
And I mean, you give me Wolverine taking off Sabretooth's head anyways, but you put it with that trade dress. And the EC slogan is just, I will, if there's a good enough story in modern books or art like this, I'm in.
It's such a cool cover.
It is. Now, Alan, you do have Suspense Stories 22, don't you, Alan?
Yeah, it's just right above me.
Yeah, that is one of the pre-code books that are just amazing. So had to pick that one up. Thanks for being a bad influence on this one. This is, what year is this? God, I looked it up today. It's
thousands, right? Is it early 2000s?
2000.
I would think,
maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
maybe 2007. I don't know. I love it. It's going on the wall. So the third book, I did an unboxing of this recently because I did just get it recently. I've been eyeing this one for a while, and I was just trying to figure out, again, mortgage, 2 kids, everything's expensive these days. So like, I just started moving stuff on eBay and saying, okay, like I have to have comics for content for my channel. That's my shtick. So let me get some like cheaper, $1 books, $5 books to talk about. I did some trades to help alleviate the cost. Nice. And I just started setting money aside and then eyeing this book at like, I was looking at like probably a 2.5 or down. I knew that was what my budget was to even get it. And this one popped up and I was like, okay, like,
ooh, nice.
Congratulations. That's
so I
see
the no grade, man. I see 0.5, right? And I'm like, how is that a 0.5? Like, I've seen 0.5s that are burnt, chipped.
All beaten up. That looks really sharp.
Yeah, it's got some spine damage. What was it, Hialeah?
What made it a 0.5?
1 page missing. Page number 3. So,
does it affect story or not?
It does affect story. Unfortunately, I looked at the panel. It doesn't have the Silver Surfer on it or anything. It has like some Inhumans on it, like Black Bolt and stuff. So I'm like, meh. But the thing is, I read in my presser, Jeff from Comic Spot has the new CGC book that tells how they grade. And for missing pages, what it does is, I don't know if any of you read this, but if they grade the book and it's a 3.5 and it's missing pages, it automatically gets 3.5 or gets a green label. If it's below, so if it's like a 3.0 to, whatever, and it's missing a page, automatically goes to a 0.5 with the universal label. But the thing is, this would probably, I would have guessed, might have been like a 1.8 to 2.0 had it not been missing that page.
You can't read it anyway. So
right.
It doesn't matter.
Like it's so like I just wanted this, the Holy Triumvirate. I still need Fantastic Four number 50 to complete that. I do have 49, but I've wanted this book for so long. And when I saw this in the price, I was like, you know what? It looks beautiful. Like it's still the first Silver Surfer. So
nice, dude.
I'm really
and first Galactus.
And
don't let them tell you any different.
First cameo. It's like the 180 and 181 thing.
It's a full appearance.
So yeah, I was pretty stoked to get that. And then the last book was another unboxing I did. This was like my grail, and I found it because prices are dropping.
Nice.
I found this through Collectibles on Instagram. I know Rohan from Absolute Game of Nerds shops through him. He has awesome books all the time, always like below fair market value. Like you will not find a better, bigger book dealer and I'm not talking like crazy books, like, but just quality keys at really fair prices. So we had this one again. I had been targeting it, kind of just setting money aside. I sold a bunch of bigger things on eBay because I was like, I got to get that, And first appearance of Man-Thing in comics. And
would it be better if he was on the cover though?
Again, it's just like Alan's book, where Wonder Woman's not on the cover. He's not on the cover until Astonishing Tales 13. That's his first cover appearance. And that is not an image that does him any justice compared to what the artist Gray Morrow, who drew Man-Thing in this, does. I mean, the stuff in this, I show it on my unbox. I got to go through some of the art, and the transformation of Ted into Man-Thing is just so beautifully drawn, and it's black and white, and it's just like, I read this. I made my video for it, and then I just read it. I sat in the room and read it, and I was like, to see a piece of history of like my favorite character and how he was created. The super soldier serum, like it's the tale as old as time, and I love it. And but not for nothing, this is also a sweet decapitation cover, and
that's still a badass cover, bro.
And this was 1971, and they didn't. I forgot who the publisher was at Marvel at the time. But he did not want to go into a magazine or anything that didn't have the comic code. He didn't want to get hassled. So they put the, M
mature
from the
label.
reader. Right.
Yeah.
Stan Lee wanted to do it because he knew there was room in the market to make some money. So this was published in 71, and then it got canceled right after that issue. And then from 73 to 75, it was republished. Great artist. John Buscema painted this cover. Neil Adams does some. Just some amazing art. So to get this one was like very, very surreal.
Great book, man.
Yeah. This was supposed to come in the day we had the Bronze Age competition.
Yeah, you were saying that you had.
This is the
something
book,
you wanted to-
Alan. Yeah, I was talking to D. I'm like, they say priority, but that one extra day passed when you needed it. And I'm like, I have a nerd game to play. You're ruining my fun. So that's what I got. And I would like to just go around the horn really quick. Derrz, you got any mail calls you got lately? If anyone wants to show
I can do something real quick. I hit a flea market up, and you know me,
love it.
Picking up random stuff.
Oh, nice.
First Barbie, and then slowly putting it together this whole run.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
I got number 2.
I watched that cartoon on Saturdays with my daughter. She goes, Daddy Robots, Daddy Robots.
9. I got number 1 lined up for next week when the flea market opens again. So number
Nice.
24. Just putting this whole run together, and then gonna read it. Highly anticipating the Transformers late issue newsy, and then 26, 31, and 34. I'll go quick, and then just to pair it up, the Coronation Starscream.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
That makes my inner child so happy seeing you flip through all those and seeing the characters. And
I've never read any of it, so
you know what? Got nothing but time. There's so much to get out of work. Maarten, you got anything recently? Whether it's in the mail or in person?
I've got this. First
you
off,
do.
real quick, I just want to show off the book that I just published.
ooh, wow.
Oh, congrats.
You published that?
Sorry.
Where can I buy it?
On
That's cool.
Instagram, or you can contact me on Instagram.
I'll slide in your DMs, Maarten. Don't you challenge me.
It's $5 Australian, so it's real cheap. And then yesterday I got this.
Oh, weird.
So it's an educational book all about rubber.
Oh my God,
Oh,
that
wow.
is random.
That is cool.
Yeah, a friend of mine sold it for like $2, and I got to get it.
That is too cool.
And then I'll just travel right through these. So this is the first time Asterix and Obelix are in a DC comic.
Oh,
So
wow. I got to
that's
find that.
Asterix there, and that's Obelix there.
Oh my
Oh, I
God.
got to find that book. What is that?
So it's Action Comics 579,
579. Okay.
Yeah.
Got to find that.
and then Hogan's Heroes.
Oh, wow. I love that show.
So this
I know
is,
nothing.
this is the last issue,
Oh my God.
and then Batman
Classic cover.
373.
That's Neil Adams, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And then another Batman.
Ah, another Neil Adams, too. And it's First
yeah.
Scarecrow, Silver Age.
Yes, First Scarecrow, 187, and then
For funds.
First Apocalypse,
First Apocalypse.
First Thunderbolts,
Nice.
Great
and for Colossus, I forget his
Alpha
name.
Flight. Yeah.
Yeah, so first Alpha Flight. But yeah, it's got Colossus on the cover.
Hmm.
Nice.
Then we've got First
First
Lobo,
Lobo.
Fire.
Wow.
You get that book this year.
Big spec book.
and then Ultimate Fallout. I got this as part of a set, and this cost me about $1.50. Because it was like there was 250 comics in there, and this was the big one.
Oh,
And the guy didn't know it was in there.
Whoopsie. Oh, I love that cover.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Raven
big book.
Evolved.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was such a bloody good read. I loved
I'm
every
still
second
shook
about
on
it.
the Miles book a little bit.
He's just flipping through great keys.
You guys discredited the Miles. I'm like,
Yeah, my boy, I got that.
Yeah, I saw that in your background. I thought, I'm going to show this off.
nice.
I found that at an antique show for $50. The guy,
Oh.
it's chewed up.
Oh,
but
my goodness. That's
it's-
so cheap.
That's
It's
fantastic.
chewed up, but the art is good.
And the last one is
Oh, I need
wow.
that first
Right.
Hellboy in color, right?
Mhm.
yes.
Yep.
Actually,
I
I've
need
got
that.
a copy of it. I've got 2 of them. So
I'll be sliding in your DMs. Trying to,
yeah, let's chat. Let's chat.
let's chat.
Wow.
That was
Thanks for that.
amazing. That was amazing. Alan, what do you got for us? I know you got something.
Well,
there.
I don't know. You got me like I wasn't expecting to show more, but I grabbed this since you guys were
Yes!
Oh, yes.
So,
That's
Oh
Red
God.
Spencer's. Like, it's pretty rough, actually. It's like a 1.5, but I just love having this book. It's like,
Alan, it looks gorgeous, man.
so this book is the one that ended comics as we know it. You know, is the golden age. This is the one that when he this was part of the Senate hearings, and the guy, you know, said, "Oh, you know, it's appropriate. It's not that bad, you know." And that became like a big headline, and then they had to come out with the Comic Code Authority. So this is the book that ended the golden age. So I love this book.
Yeah, they pushed it with that one.
Yeah, so I actually have some recent pickups too. I've shown these before though on somewhere or other. I don't remember where. But there was a flea market that was really bad. It was all junk. And I was like so disappointed that I was walking back to my car, and there was a vendor right across from my car. Like, it wasn't part of the main flea market, and he just happened to have comics. I was like, oh, that's cool. So I got this one.
Oh,
This is
Wow.
not the real one. This is not the Warren one. This is the Dynamite reprint. But for
Nice.
$1, why not?
yeah.
You know, it's-
No
so
brainer.
there was that, and then he had some weird underground ones. You know, so I thought
Freak
that was
Brothers. Love
cool.
it.
Freak Brothers, and I got all these for like I paid $10 for the whole lot, and actually I got some other ones as well. So
That cover is creepy, and I like it.
yeah, I think it's fun. You know, it's making fun. Like a lot of the underground comics, they would make fun of Disney. They really were going after Disney. So yeah, this is Yellow Dog. And then I got some other cool book in the mail. I
Oh,
love
cool.
these EC covers, like, you know,
fire.
homage covers.
Issue 11?
This is issue number 11, yeah.
I always
Isn't
loved the
that
Treehouse
awesome?
of Horror as a kid. Look forward to it every Halloween, man.
Yeah. I actually interviewed the guy that did this comic on my channel, Bill Morrison.
Jeez,
Yeah.
Alan.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. And then one last one, Dan DiCarlo, Betty and Veronica.
Love it.
You know, these innuendo or sexy covers, you know, always are cool. So
Yep. You got
So,
it, man.
that's my style.
Hialeah, you get anything recently?
No, but you know what? I'm gonna take the opportunity since I had some homage covers here.
Yes.
I want to show that, and then I got 2 questions after I'm done showing these. These will be fast. So it was homage covers. I wanted to join, but I couldn't, so I just got these ready for today. This is a homage to Fleetwood Mac.
Cool.
That is
Oh,
cool.
wow.
So that's a homage to Fleetwood
Oh.
Mac.
One of my favorite bands, man.
What is that? Rumors, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I guess a Marilyn Monroe homage.
Another fire.
Oh, I love it.
Awesome.
That's a really good series, by the way. Liberty
This
Meadows.
is cool, man. This is really good.
I got the whole series of that.
This is Swamp Thing 1 homage. This is Magic Order.
Oh, that is cool.
Oh, interesting.
These are dope. I haven't seen some of these.
I'd love to get that one. That's a good one to get.
Yeah, that's on my list. I always end up writing all the you guys. Are
I'm gonna write that one down. That's a
Okay, you guys were seeing this the horror homage. So this is Ice Cream Man, and this is a homage to DC, I guess.
Fire.
I've seen that one.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And my last one, and then I got 2 questions real quick. This is Incredible Hulk 49. This is Where the Wild Things Are. This book is special to me. I fucking love this book. This cover is just fire to me.
Ditto, dude.
Yeah.
Love it. And my question is, put us big again or put us little again? Aussie, move your head. Is that a Bionic Man Bigfoot you have right there?
No, they're all.
It's Jason
What's that?
Momoa.
What's that big one?
This one here. He's
Yeah,
this huge Jason Momoa Aquaman.
Dude, that looks like a freaking Sasquatch from Bionic Man.
I know
When
what
I
you're
saw
talking about, Hialeah.
And my next question, Brandon, dude, that is a bad little freaking Green Goblin Migo next to the 122.
Yeah, dude.
That's badass, bro. I like that.
through you know, you guys, once you get into this collecting world, you meet so many people where you literally can find anything you want. It's kind of silly. And I have a friend that I used to sell Star Wars toys to and buy from, and he had a bunch of Megos that were his dad's, and he didn't collect them. So I traded him a bunch of comics I didn't collect, titles he did, to get that one. All original. It's got the thing is broke, the sash or the his pumpkin bomb pouch, but that's okay. Like,
I'm a 70s kid. I had those Megos, bro. I played with those shits till the arms would fall off and lose the pieces. And dude, it's great collectible, man. That's a great collectible.
I've got Joker by my Batman 251 too. I've got the Mego Joker. Yeah, it's insane. Guys, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I know that the Collector Club is about to get fired up over at Biggie Shack's channel. I got to go ice my ass because 1 hour, and that's about all I can handle. But Adam, what do you got collecting with Derrz? What you got coming up on your channel?
Today I dropped, I got every Friday, my Friday positivities and shout outs, just hit episode 50, been doing that since I started. And then every Sunday on my Sunday night sesh at 6 p.m., it's a live, it's kind of like a hangout, kind of like this, we do cover themes, show our new hauls, talk about the week in comics culture, all that kind of stuff. This week's going to be a banger. It's going to be first appearance Sunday. So make sure you guys come check it out.
I will be there, dude, since I'm laid up. It's my birthday Sunday, actually.
Oh, nice.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Yeah. But more importantly, it's my 1-year-old daughter's 1-year birthday party tomorrow. So all that matters this weekend is that goes off without a hitch. I could care less about me. Another trip around the sun. Happy to be here, but it's all about my daughter tomorrow.
Nice.
Maarten, what do you got coming up on your channel, man?
So I'm just going to be doing like a week's worth of filming and then posting it every day for the next week. And the first film I'm going to do is a 2000s cover challenge. Alan, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I love it. See, Alan already helps create so much great content. Alan, what do you got coming up? More unboxings and stuff?
So I'm still like the current unboxing. I'm looking for. There's a treasure that I'm going to be finding. It's a big book. Like there's actually 2 big books that are in the unboxing. But tomorrow I'm going to be interviewing Sweeney Boo. Sweeney Boo, yeah, the artist. She's a really great artist.
Don't know her, but I watch your interview and then I'll know.
Yeah, she does like a really amazing, good girl, modern artist. Like really great stuff. She works on like she's doing like her run on Harley Quinn and also on Hawk Girl.
Oh, very interesting. That's awesome, dude. Yeah. That's awesome. Hialeah, what do you got coming up, man?
Got nothing, nada, silk. Hanging out. Whenever I get invited, I'll go on. It's hard for me to say no. It's just much easier, bro.
I feel you, man.
Being a guest and not having to even pre-recorded videos, man. I'm already kind of like done with that. But I got a ton of stuff on my channel, a lot of past interviews and whatnot. But just thank you. Thanks again for the invite, man. This was a blast.
Dude, I love the biggest thing I've loved about this is YouTube, is the community that I've got to connect to, and everyone that I've talked to behind the scenes or on the show. I mean, this is like the fruits of our labor, right? Like getting to, some of us are in situations where there's no one around to talk comics to, and all of a sudden you have people at the drop of a dime that will talk to you about Golden Age, Aquaman's first appearance, Scotty Young variants, or books, the homage covers and zombie covers. So that's really blown me away. So guys, thank you for being my guest this month. I really appreciate it. You guys I look up to all of you guys, and I'm always watching your videos. Like, how can I get like that, man? They're so good. So anyone in the chat who watches this, anyone who watches the rerun, go sub these guys up. They're amazing. They're awesome channels, and they're just good humans. So thanks for coming on, guys, and go check out Scott. I need to go to bed. Go check out Collector Club, Comic Collector Club, and check out those guys play their game. And TM Nerdy said he'll see you in a minute. So, guys, I'll see you backstage in a sec. Live, everyone else, thank you so much for hanging out, and have a good, safe weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.